Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the stream. I'm Robert from the El Magnifico Games channel, and today we're going to continue a playthrough of Beyond a Steel Sky.
Curb that human instinct, Foster. This is no time for snacks.
Thank you, Joey. What was I thinking? So last time we made... I've forgotten where we started in the game last time. I know what we've achieved in the game so far. Oh, I remember.
Curb that human instinct, Foster. This is no time for snacks.
Yes, thank you, Joey. So we obviously are on the trail of Milo. Who was the abducted child, the child abducted from our village. We last time knew that we had one lead, which was a gentleman named Leet. We managed to track his location, but we weren't able to go to his location, and so at the beginning of last stream that was us trying to get a travel pass so that we were allowed to the correct part of the city where we could meet up with Leet. We did so. He gave us quite a bit of useful information about what's going on. Well, between things he said and reading between the lines. The impression I get is that the powers that be within the city seem to be abducting children to do some sort of experiments on them. That is my conclusion based on the evidence we've seen so far. Oh, interesting shaped chairs, aren't they? Almost like eggs. Anywho, specifically, I think that whatever they're doing to the children is connected to the reflection spa, where they sent that young lady whose name currently escapes me. But she was the one who was in quite significant distress. She was taken to the reflection spa, and then she came back much happier, but with her memory gone. And there had been some worrying signs of memory loss before then, such as apparently having some sort of multiple personality disorder, where she would sometimes remember one set of memories and then on another occasion a different set of memories, and her personality would change. Anyway, that was all very concerning stuff. I think she's probably been to the reflection spa more than once, and they've done something to her mind. And I think, based on that young lady, Poppy, well, I say young lady, the little girl, Poppy, who we met, who was with Leet, who seemed to be just perpetually happy, not in a oh, good for her type of way, in a genuinely creepy, there's something wrong here type way. Not that she wasn't sweet. That's what I think is going on here. Anywho, long story short, we managed to not only get the travel pass, meet up with Lee, have a extended interaction there, which involved us going to Link Space briefly to hack some systems. We ultimately found our way to the Aspiration Day Gala, which is what's in front of us, and we've come here specifically because we understand that there are certain people that either were involved in the abduction of the children, or at the very least seem to be aware of it, by which I mean we don't actually know for certain whose interests they are acting in, but we have good evidence that Mr. Grundy, who we're currently posing as, for reasons that I could go into, but I'm trying to keep this intro as short as possible. He had contact with these people. We believe they knew about the child abductions. They seem to be skulking around at this party. So we managed to make out the very last thing we did at the end of last Beyond the Steel Sky stream. Also managed to make our way up here into the control room, and our next job is to try and follow the suspicious figures and confront them and find out what they know about the missing children, including Milo. So let's get into it.
If there was some way to access the side of the building, maybe I could follow that strange figure.
The vent, I assume, but I want to look around this room before we do that.
Who knew a party needed so many servers?
It's a good point in a way. I wonder what the servers are actually doing. I assume these servers aren't actually... I assume these servers are permanently here, and it's not... This building's function probably extends beyond just the gala. But you never know, maybe projecting all those holograms takes a lot of processing power or something.
Curb that human instinct, Foster. This is no time for
I
snacks.
think that's about everything.
The vent appeared to lead to the side of the building.
Just what we needed. Crowbar. Blimey. Through we go, I suppose. Although this clearly isn't how those figures came through here themselves, because if they'd gone through the vent presumably would have been broken off. Like, it doesn't look like what we just did there was undoable. It looks like the vent's going to have to be repaired. It doesn't look like anyone could just put the vent back on. That's actually a good point. How was that vent actually fixed to the wall? Like, there doesn't seem to be anywhere for it to clip onto or anything. It's almost like they glued it in place.
With the vent cover out of the way, I could now access the outside of the building.
Anyway, as I was saying... Oh yeah, I probably should have said. Of course, last stream we got Joey back. Oh, of course, at the beginning of last stream we still had Joey. Yeah, so last stream we lost Joey and then we got him back. And now he's in a new body, but apparently he doesn't know what this body's function is. So that's something we're going to have to discover.
All right, we're going through the vent.
Age before beauty.
If you say so.
Oh, man. Forgot how old this show was. Okay, move. Can't say I'm not a droid of my word.
I didn't know how old the droid shell was.
Well,
Thank you, Joey.
Right, where were we? Can we go back? It looks like we can go back if we want to. Just looking out over the gala. So that's where we came in, using the monopod. This is the area we could access. Over there, under the dome, that's the VIP area. We weren't allowed in there, but our wife was.
how do I say it? Just making conversation.
Well, I call her our wife, Mr. Grundy's wife. Unfortunately, poor Mr. Grundy's deceased. But his wife is so scared about the possible repercussions in this status-driven society if it were found out what her husband had been up to, that she's quite happy to go along with the ruse that we're her husband. I take it I can't go up this way. Oh, I can. So I could follow them. No, I can't, because that's a dead end. I'm assuming I'm not actually on a timer here. I'm assuming, given that this is a puzzle game, not an action game, it doesn't actually matter how long I take. Presumably.
It looked like Tarquin and Reginald were about to perform. The excitement was bearable.
It was bearable. Oh, I wanted to see this. I'm gonna take the risk and watch it, even though even though the danger is that those people get away. I assume they won't. So Tarquin has been asked to open for Sir Reginald. Sir Reginald is Poet Laureate. But we ended up... it was made very clear to us that Sir Reginald was actually effectively making fun of poor Tarquin. He didn't think much of being a droid. He didn't think much of Tarquin's poetic abilities at all when he was setting him up to be laughed at, basically. We managed to get Sir Reginald's notes on his... that he was planning for his poetry this evening. Like, he was preparing his poem ahead of time, as you would. And we managed to get a hold of it, and we gave it to Tarquin and told Tarquin that this was inspiration. So what we're expecting to happen here is for Tarquin to deliver Sir Reginald's poem ahead of him. And then what's Sir Reginald going to do? He's going to have to come up with a poem on the spot. So what I'm anticipating is Tarquin gets all the credit and is seen very favourably, and poor Sir Reginald, who tried to take advantage of Tarquin, is going to have a difficult time. He might manage to deliver a poem on the spot that actually wins the crowd over, but it's going to be... he's going to have his work cut out for him.
After all the effort I put in to get that poem, I had to see it performed live.
Watch a full poetry recital.
People of Union City, is everyone feeling aspirational today? I cannot hear you. But first, once again it is I, Poet Laureate Reginald Arthur Schnipple, Esquire, to titillate your taste buds and waggle your wits.
Waggle our wits?
I know you all love a giggle and a guffaw, and making you giggle is one of my favorite things. So this year, I thought it would be hilarious to see what happens if I asked a droid to write a poem all on his own. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring up a very special guest. My very own Fidelis II domestic savant, Tarquin. Ah, this should be good, folks.
Theo is setting him up to fail.
And don't worry. However this goes, I'll be bringing up the rear with a cracker of my own. Go on, Tarquin. Show these good people what you've got.
I ventured one day to my favorite cafe to partake in a wonderful scene. For I love Union City, the colors so pretty. I'm sure all here know what I mean. With spankles in hand, I sat next to a man, his grin unmistakably forced. I asked him his woe, and he said, "Oh, you know, just the typical small things, of course. My flat isn't bright, my pants are too tight, my link sometimes loses connection.
Link,
My
that's
droid's a bit worn, and my
the old
left sock
system.
is torn, and I'm long overdue for reflection."
oh, another
Sir,
reference to the
I
reflection
then
spar.
said, "There's a roof overhead. Pants are tight 'cause there's food in your tummy. Sock is torn. Take it off. Go barefoot for a laugh. You see glum where I only see funny. You live in a place that caters all tastes. A bottomless sheer cornucopia. Edible, drinkable, it's rather unthinkable to groan when you live in utopia.
He doesn't look happy.
So next time your grin feels a little bit grim, and your flat feels a little bit pat, change that mood if you like, or if not, take a hike, 'cause there's plenty of room in the gap.
Wow! Tarquin, that was incredibly inspired.
Thank you, thank you. One cannot wait to hear your poem, sir.
Yes, well, perhaps a 5-minute break first.
Well, that was certainly something.
It was. So
I
to,
would say judge a society on its firework party.
so am I to believe that Sir Reginald hasn't realised that his poem got stolen? He thinks that Tarquin somehow originated a word-for-word identical poem. Good, we haven't lost our opportunity to find out what these suspicious fellows are up to. I know they went down the other way. I just want to fully explore, since again, I assume we're not actually on a timer. Nothing here. Since the developers let you run all this way, it would have been nice if they'd just, you know, put an Easter egg in or something. Nice vegetation hanging down, isn't it? I can only imagine they do that deliberately. You know, as in that's part of deliberate decoration of the city.
That ladder was where the mysterious
This building.
figure had gone. I had to follow.
Okay, where are we off to now? Oh, that's interesting. Why did they bother to... Why did the devs decide not to have the ladder go all the way down, but have two ladders? What's the point of this intermediate stage?
A rope dangled from the platform. I guess that was where they'd gone.
Presumably. Why is this ladder made out of rope, though? Very interesting. Have we found our way all the way down to the bottom level? So this must be where the very
Jeez,
wealthy live.
Foster, I expected you to be in better shape.
Shut up, Joey, and keep an eye out.
That's not a good noise. What is that? Oh, that's one of the dogs. One of the robot dogs from the start of the game. Like the one that the androids jumped out of and abducted Milo.
That vehicle. It's the same as the one that stole Milo. Guess that means we're in the right place.
Foster, look out!
That's not good. Evening. Orana?
Orana?
You!
Orana, stop!
Yeah, Arana, stop!
I'm not who you think I am.
I know you're not Graham Grundy. You've been lying to me since the moment we met. What the hell have you done with the real Graham? And who the hell are you?
My real name is...
Robert!
Oh my goodness. It's Madame
Danielle
Piermont? Piermont.
The lady from the museum?
What on earth is a nice boy like you doing in a back alley like this? Arana, dear, please, you can stop.
But
His mother and I were at school together. You can trust him, I promise.
can someone please explain what the hell is going on?
Let's start with an explanation about the missing kids.
My name is Robert Foster. I've come from the Gap. A few days ago, one of those vehicles attacked my village. The androids were armed. We couldn't stop them. They took my friend, Milo. He's just a kid.
This is just awful.
I needed Graham's ID to get into the city, but I promise you, I didn't hurt him. He was dead when I found him.
The poor boy.
I told him not to try anything stupid. This is all my fault.
Her
Arana,
chin's
dear,
just
don't
casually
be hard
clipping
on
through her
yourself. Graham knew
collar.
what he was doing.
Secret group.
So you were both friends with Graham?
I didn't think he had any friends.
Friends, allies, whatever you want to call it.
Graham was working at the land train entrance when he saw one of these things coming into the city.
These things, you mean the stalkers?
I thought they were called creepers.
We call them walkers. Whatever they're called. Here comes another one.
I'm not quite sure why... Oh dear. That's not good.
The stalker. I recognized her.
Yeah, she was the one that helped hack our... Get us into the city in the beginning. Ember, that was it.
Graham was right. Those things are carrying children. Whatever they're doing to them.
It's inside that building.
Then that's where I'll find Milo.
Now then, I must get back to the gala. I fear my absence from the festivities may already be apparent. You two, find out where they're taking those children.
2. You mean 3, don't you?
That's my plan.
Lovely to see you again, Robert.
You too, Miss Piermont.
Oh, and Arana,
Yes?
trust him. He's from good stock.
What were they doing down here before...
That elevator transported
Mr.
the stalker
Foster
into the
turned up?
building.
We need to find
Oh,
a way
you
to
called
get
it a
working.
stalker. Earlier you called it
What
a
if another one
walker.
of those big beasts shows up?
Okay, I'll keep watch. Reckon you and your sidekick can figure it out.
Huh. We got this far.
She was talking to me, Rob.
Can you see a button anywhere?
I don't think this place was designed for visitors. Foster, I have auto-linked to the system. Perhaps
Come on, there's no way.
you were saying...
Hey, Arana, we found a way.
Are you some sort of hacking robot now? Oh dear. Hopefully it's not operational right now. Okay, it is. And it has weaponry. That's not good. Got caught spying. I don't think I could have avoided that.
You took quite a hit there.
What's going...
It's okay, Foster. Just lie still.
So you know who I am.
Don't be afraid. I'm here now.
And who are you?
Joey. You're Joey.
It's good to see you, Foster.
Oh my
Where
goodness,
am
it's
I?
the original Joey.
It's okay. You're safe now.
There
I
was
said
an
the original
explosion.
Joey. Technically the second one.
Arana, what's happened to...
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
Joey, it's so good to see you again. I should have come back earlier.
Hey, it's no problem.
Could have helped you.
No need, old friend. The Council have everything under control.
Somehow I doubt
But
that.
that's just it. The Council. You have to stop them. They're...
Shh. Calm now. Plenty of time to talk when you're better. Need to get you fixed first.
Fixed. What do you mean?
Just relax.
Yeah,
old
what do you
friend.
mean?
Soon have that smile back on your face.
Oh no. Somehow I don't think he means normal medical care.
This doesn't make any sense.
Guess I got what it takes. These doors just opened for me.
Joey, get back!
Oh, we just changed character.
Don't shoot!
Confirmed. Welcome to Level 4 UG.
That went well.
I'll say. Are we allowed to be here?
I just got it. The system is finally recognizing me for who I truly am. Joey.
Oh right.
That mean you can disable the android?
If this shell had any sort of weapon, it would be a whole lot easier. But I'll give it a go. Wait right here.
Right here. Brilliant.
This is my time to shine. That android is heading for a fall.
Oh no. Oh, we're controlling Joey now. Get Foster out of the reflection spot. Yep, I thought so. That's where they sent him. So is this game going to end in Joey on Joey violence or something? Okay, we can't go that way.
Foster. He needs my help.
Interesting. I'm not sure if this shell actually is any slower than Foster was, but it feels it. Okay. So this is 5. What do we have here? Child, child, empty chair.
All these children. Looks like they're sleeping.
Is this because the last instructions to Joey were to make everyone happy? That is the Joey we left in charge of the city. And this was how he chose to do it.
Foster will know what to do.
Certainly seems like it, doesn't it?
Looks like it's monitoring their happiness levels.
So presumably in one of these rooms, probably 3, we're going to room 3, I mean, we'll find
Whatever this is,
Mr. Foster.
it isn't right.
So why can you recognise that, but the other Joey can? The other version of you? What changed? Okay, it looks like I can't disable that android.
Whatever this is, it isn't right.
Okay, let's assume this is what's going on here. That Mr. Foster left the android Joey in charge of the city
Foster, just gotta get rid of the android.
with the instruction to make everyone happy. So therefore, everyone in the city happy specifically, not other cities. Because of course there have been references to, what was it called? Oh, I've forgotten the name of the other city already. But there was that other city that apparently was being dismantled, and all its wealth plundered to support Union City, where we are right now. So let's assume that's what happened. So Android Joey was left with the instructions to make everyone in this city happy, and so he's gone about it in a ruthless way. Why take children from the Gap? Because they aren't citizens of this city. What is the point in that?
It's a Kudos MX-5 security console. These things were designed for droids, not people.
Interesting. Augmentation room. Stage 1. Okay. Are they all on? Oh, stage 5. So some of them are in a more advanced state of being. Reflection sparred, whatever that is. Right. So, I can't get more information about them, but I can at least record all their names. So we have Tobias at stage 5, Shan stage 5, Tom stage 5, Naomi, I think that says stage 5. In room 2 we have Willow. Stage 5. Matilda. Stage 5. Cat. Stage 5. Dave. Stage 5. Ember stage 1. Right, Ember's not far gone then. That's good news. Not that I know what happens after each stage, that might actually be bad news. It may be that interrupting the process is worse than letting it complete, I don't know. Eves, Loz, Luke, Haley,
Milo. That's the kid that Foster came all this way to rescue.
Stage 5. So it takes a few days then to get from stage 1 to 5, although we don't actually know how many stages there are in total. Oh, what was that lady's name? The one I mentioned earlier, who went to the reflection spa and came back somewhat different. Raquel Dijon. Okay. So how many are there in total? 4 in that room, 4 in that room, 1 in that room, excluding Mr. Foster. 4 in that room, 4 in that room. So that makes 17 in total, 18 if you include Mr. Foster. Right, we need to do something about that android. Presumably if I keep following the android, at some point they're going to do something which makes them more vulnerable. Joey said something about they're heading for a fall. Although it doesn't look like it. No, I don't look like I can do anything. Alright, let's release everyone. Maybe I'm being a little reckless by releasing them all actually, because like I say, we don't know what state they're going to be in, and we don't know if it's going to make things worse. Well, we've done the best we can. That alarm's a little worrying. What are you up to? Have you just wiped all my efforts? I think so. Looks like it. Alright. Just these two for now then. Hopefully just those two won't set any alarms off. And because Ember's a hacker, I'm hoping she'll be able to help get the others out of here.
Must be an important girl. Her and Foster have the place to themselves.
So she's conscious then? Or appears to be. This has been reversed, hasn't it? What do I do then?
The more time they spend in the chair, the higher their happiness levels go.
I'm just a little confused what I'm supposed to do about this android. I guess I could deliberately change something, and then while they come to change it back, I could check again to see if there's anything I can do. I find it kind of odd that I can't seem to interact with them at all. Okay, let's think about this logically. It's bound to be one of the things that it always is in these games, isn't it? As I always say, it's usually that there's an item you didn't know you could pick up, or some area you didn't know you could access. Or in this case, it may just be something we can interact with but didn't know we could interact with. Actually, I'll tell you what. I wonder if I need to set them to
It's a Kudos MX5 security console.
to be released, and then I wonder if I have to actually go there to make that happen.
These things were designed for droids, not people.
Hey Yisha, it's lovely to see you. How are you today? I'm surviving.
Foster, engage your wake-up protocols. Must be no response. I'll have to find another way.
Oh, can I safely go this way? Oh, I didn't realise I could. Ah, there's stuff around the back. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
With the power off, I might have more luck getting to that button.
Okay, I understand now what we're trying to do. That took a while. How are you, Yisha? I want that android to go to... I want to wait till I see them going into the other room to maximise the time I have. So they're going back to the centre to see if I've changed anything. Which I haven't. I hadn't thought I had. Right, now's my chance. Oh, are you going back already? Yes. Okay. So, what am I waiting for then? Until I actually see you enter the other room. I didn't realise you'd turn around midway to correct what you see as a mistake. It looks like you skipped the 5th room because of it as well. That's interesting. Right, hopefully they're distracted now. Why does it say queuing task if in reality nothing has been queued? It just lowers a force field. If that is in fact what's happening. I'm starting to think it isn't.
With the power off, I might have more luck getting to that button.
Alright. So that's not what we're trying to do here. I guess I'm just going to have to go into each individual room. And see if there's something around the outside that I've missed. Nothing yet. Of course, I could always go back and speak with Orana, but I assume that's not the idea here. Another possibility that crosses my mind is getting the android to touch the electric field. Why did they design those chairs that way? Why is there a control panel on the back, but that control panel apparently is protected by an electric field? What an odd way to go about things. Thank you, Yisha. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but my microphone's buzzing. Thank you. Has that fixed it? Or, just to be clear, it's not the buzzing in the game, is it, from the electric fields that you're hearing? That's the buzzing from the game. If I go into an area where there's like a fan noise in this room. Oh, that has fixed it. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it's a loose connection. I don't know why it sometimes forms a loose connection, but literally all I did was I just pressed gently on both ends of the cable that go from the external audio card to the microphone. That's all I did. And that just seems to fix it. It's been a problem for a long time, but because I don't have monitoring on all the time, I don't always realise. I mean, I know I notionally should have monitoring on all the time, but I also feel like it would be very, very distracting if I was hearing my own voice echo back at me. Sounds like the cable is starting to fail then, sadly. I'd be surprised, because like I've had this problem, I think, since I got this set up. Goodness, that almost 3 years ago. Certainly I feel like it's been a problem for at least 2 years. Yeah, I can't do that. Hear myself. Sorry, if it seems like I'm wandering aimlessly, it's because I have...
What a waste of electricity.
It's because I'm still trying to figure out how I solve this puzzle. He said something about turning the power off, but I don't know how I'd do that. I mean, notionally from this console, right? But every time I've tried it, it hasn't worked. I know that android that's walking around is presumably turning the power back on. Like so. But I should be able to get there quickly enough that that's not a problem. Yeah, you can see it is still on.
With the power off, I might have more luck getting to that button.
I don't get it. Oh, maybe I turn it off while they're in the room. That I'm affecting. Right, what effect, if any, has that had? Well, I know you haven't had time to go back. Electric field still up. Oh, I can press a button on the empty chairs. What's the point in that? And by press, we just headbutt it. Are we trying to create some sort of overload or something? Well, at least it feels like we're making some sort of progress now. Can I see what sort of effect it's had? They're all powered down now. Oh, I have a theory. Maybe when we power them down, the android has to manually turn them back on, like go around the back or something, and maybe then we can push them. Oh, these are all on. So I guess the android had time to correct whatever we did. Are you going back to room 3? You are going back to room 3. I think we're onto something. So I turned off a bunch of the chairs in this room. Here we go. Yes, worked it out. Be a shame if someone pushed you.
Have a nice trip. Wait, that's not right.
Oh, Joey. Right, that's progress. I don't think that puzzle was very well implemented, because presumably now I go back to the console and I can power off the machines that have people in. But it definitely was the case that I would go to the console, select power off for one of the chairs that has someone in, and I would come back here and the electric field would still be up, even though I had confirmed that the android had not had time to walk back.
Joey, did I just hear the sound of an android hitting a steel floor at high speed?
It was a tragic accident. I found Foster. He's in room 3. He's just through those doors, plugged into some sort of machine.
That can't be good. Let's go.
Interesting. Jimmy thumbs. No bottle this time. Okay. Smug? Why is there a door that says smug on it? Oh, was this where the rat jumped out? That's Poppy and Milo. And Poppy's got the bilby. Presumably this is what it's like being inside the chair. Oh, that's Mr. Grundy's body. Are they changing our memories or something? Or just creating new ones?
Milo! Whoa. Wait a minute. Help! Somebody!
Keep it down, would you, Foster?
Yeah, jeez. You scream like a child.
What the?
Joey, you look out for Foster while I get this one.
On it.
I don't know.
It's okay. We're gonna get you out of here. What's your name?
Ember. Where's Pixel? In Voxel? Hey, I know that guy. From outside.
Come on, Foster.
Her memory
You're
seems
making me look
largely
bad.
intact.
Joey, on the way here, I saw other Joey.
You mean Joey the Savior? But he left years ago.
Yeah, well, he's back. And somehow involved.
Probably never left.
No, Foster. He wouldn't be.
We've got to find him. Tell him what's really going on.
Maybe he can help fix it. Yeah. Me and him together. Dream team.
It's gonna take everything we got to bring down the council.
2 Joeys. What's not to like?
First, we have to get Milo and the other children back to their homes.
About that.
What? Did
Yeah.
you find something?
You better follow me.
Joey time. Free Foster.
Foster, there's something you have to see. It's over here. Room 5.
Milo. I wonder if this wouldn't have happened if I hadn't discovered Milo.
The children. You found them? Milo? Milo!
These rooms are full of children, Foster.
Milo. 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 Oh, Milo. Hang on, kid. I'm getting you out of here.
No, wait, Foster!
It's Milo. I have to get him out of this.
These chairs, they're connected deep into their brains. We can't just rip them out. It could be fatal.
But it needs to stop. Shut it down, Joey.
It's okay, Foster. We've triggered the abort sequence.
They'll all get better, I'm sure. It might just take... time.
How long?
Days. Maybe weeks. Meanwhile, we've got a bigger problem.
Oh yes?
We do.
How do we get all these kids out of here? under the radar. They've all been U-chipped. System will flag them the second they walk out of this place.
It's a U-chip problem, yeah?
One of the problems, sure.
Leet had a plan. A way of getting a kid out of the city. Something about Kudos.
His plan better be good. We've got a truckload of kids here.
I don't recognize the logo over the pods. It's most similar to the Ministry of Wellbeing, but if it were that, then it should be purple, but it's not. It is not exactly like any of the ministries. The yellow one would be the Ministry of Aspiration, but that should be just a vertical line. Don't recognise that logo at all. Right, what's our objective now? Save the children. Okay. But what am I actually doing now? As in, what task has been put before me?
Before he tries to leave the city.
How do I even get out of this place?
That's where Joey comes in.
I do? I mean, yeah, I do.
Somehow, he's been able to open every door in this place.
Joey, you've got superpowers.
I always knew I was special, ever since I was a young droid, helping Foster.
Listen, getting the children out of these labs is one thing, but out of the city...
I think I know how to do that.
Helicopter?
The train?
No, Joey. The land train entrance at the city walls.
Are you sure about that?
It's our only option.
With Ember's help, and Danielle's. Leave it with us.
So, I'm going with Foster... Arana?
You're coming with me, Joey.
The Gap chaps are back in business!
Wait! I need Joey to open the doors, otherwise we'll be stuck in here.
Please, there's no need to fight over me. But carry on. Keep telling me how important I am.
Can you get all the children there once I've got the fix from Leet?
Way ahead of you. I knew this thing would come in handy, eventually.
The android finger.
Arana, good luck.
You too. Both of you. See you at the city walls.
Right, what are we actually doing?
Hey, Joey.
What is it, Foster?
Do you think these kids are gonna be okay?
What do I look like, a doctor?
I mean, will Arana be able to get them to the city walls?
She can handle herself, Foster. Besides, she's got Ember to help. And Danielle Piermont.
You're right. Unstoppable. Maybe we should try and find Joey now?
We've got more important things to do now, remember?
The kids.
Yep, the kids.
Yeah, but what about them? Like...
You and Arana make quite a team.
Am I just being
She's
stupid?
alright. Hasn't forced me to inhale bird droppings yet.
You're not still mad about that, are you?
I'll get over it.
Oh, when he was the vacuum cleaner.
Are you sure we can trust Arana?
She saved your life, Foster.
I guess I'm just being paranoid.
What exactly did they do to you in that thing?
I don't know. But I'm not exactly thinking straight right now. That's all for now, Joey.
Let's get to work, Foster.
Okay, I'm still unclear on what Mr. Foster is trying to achieve right this moment. Like, I understood the plan is that Arana and Ember help the children, help get the children out of those chairs, and I understand there's a plan to meet at the land train, but what is Mr. Foster doing in the meantime? Like, what is his current objective? And the other thing that I thought was strange was that Arana said that it might take a few days or even weeks for the children to be alright. Well, they need them out of those chairs before then. They can't just stay down there for days or weeks and expect not to be discovered.
Step back. I'm opening it.
Okay. I guess we just go whatever direction the game lets us go in.
I've been thinking about Joey. I mean the other one. Maybe he never left.
He walked out into the desert. Years ago, remember?
So they say.
I'm not convinced. I would never have walked away. And I'm him. And he's me. You
Window.
want to check this out, Foster?
Those spa chairs. They're just like the ones they had me in.
We can see the Shreveman Fort.
Hey, Foster.
Looks quite a lot like
Can
a
I ask you
cereal
a
fort.
question?
Shoot.
When you made Joey, the other one, did you do anything different? Change his protocols?
Not a thing.
Forgotten.
He's just you, with legs.
And an arm? Over here.
I'll be there in a second. Just having a good look at the operation.
Look at all those chickens.
I guess this is what they call reflections. Looks peaceful.
Looks more like brainwashing to me.
Ignorance is bliss.
Nice
You know,
job
I
the
gotta
game
say,
devs did with the
all
camera there.
this, the work of humans.
Meaning?
Just saying,
Saying what? That humans are evil?
can be evil.
Androids can't.
Hey, look, Foster. It's your pal.
Ah, Mentor Alonso.
Mentor Alonso.
Grundy! You again.
May not have been a brilliant idea to let them see us. Orana can free the children. So are we just opening up all the doors between Orana and the outside world? Why didn't we go out the way we came in? And what was the consequences of being spotted by Mentor Alonso? You'd have thought he would have immediately alerted security or something. He certainly seemed to be running off for some reason. Also, why are we back on the industrial level? Oh, to see Leet. Right, that's our immediate objective then. See Leet before he leaves.
Jimmy?
Don't shoot! Whoa! Don't want to drop one of these, or we all go up in flames.
Oh, come on. It can't be that vault. Going somewhere?
Anyway, about here. Not safe no more. Council's onto me. This place was crawling with their goons earlier.
Where did they go?
Beats me. I'm not hanging around to find out. I'm off.
Good luck, I guess.
You too, Pedro. Now shift.
Actually, if he's off, I should probably go down the bottom. Oh, we can clip through Joey. Looks a bit silly, but I guess that makes sense from a not making sure the player gets stuck, or making sure the player doesn't get stuck perspective.
I dreaded to think what used to be in that jar.
Yeah, I was just thinking we should go back here and scavenge anything we can before it's too late. Right, so the
crusher was gone, and the conveyor had been barricaded shut.
yeah, and the security droid that's here is gone as well. Right. To Leet, then. Yeah, I comprehended that we were supposed to catch up with Leet at some point. I didn't realise that, that we were just going back to his place and assuming he was still there. I somehow imagined that it would be a more involved process than that. Since there was a very good chance he'd have been gone already. Don't look like he's still here. Oh, what could be behind the curtain? Interesting. Interesting.
Leet? Leet!
Oh dear.
Oh no. It was Leet, all right. He was still warm. At that moment, a terrible thought struck me. Poppy? Poppy,
Yeah,
are you
what
here?
happened to her?
Poppy, it's me, Foster. Do you remember me, Poppy?
Yes, you're Mr. Leet's friend.
Come on.
Oh, she can
We need to
speak
get
normally
you out of
now.
here.
Mr. Leet, he's...
I know. I'm sorry. Can you tell me what happened?
Leet said he was going to put on the funny mask to help us get away. Then some men came, so I hid.
What did the men look like?
The ones in black that took me before. The ones with no faces.
Listen, Poppy. I've got something I need to do. Can you find your way to the monopod?
I think so.
Brave girl. I'll meet you there. Whatever Leet's plan for Poppy had been, it had to involve Minos. I was going to have to go in there myself. Leet
Interesting.
was dead, but his Kudos plans for Poppy still made sense. All I had to do was find a way to boost all the kids' Kudos levels in the same way.
What do you mean by that? Because I don't think people are allowed to leave if they have a high kudos level.
Error 465. Connection error. Could not re-establish link with user. Leet. Poor Leet.
Yeah, that confuses me. I don't think anyone can leave the city. I don't think raising their kudos level is going to help. Might get them down to the lower levels. But that's all. So, here we are again. Kudos allocation system. Oh right, because this is the navigator, which can take you to different parts of the system. So he's going to a different part of the system to last time. That makes sense. Straight to the puzzle. Oh, is that Leet? Some sort of message Leet left. Interesting. Yeah, we didn't have to go through... Or we automatically went through link space, didn't we? That's why we had to do all the puzzles before. Or that's how we First time we came here, we had to do a load of stuff in Link space before we could get to Minos. This time we didn't. Looks like we're doing some sort of arithmetic. Disconnected avatar.
Error. Checksum invalid. Local interneural connection has been lost. Please unmount brain before disconnection to prevent data loss.
Command, begin recording. Well, the system's just told me my body is in cardiac arrest, so I guess security caught up with me. Command, upload recording async. If you're hearing this message, then I'm dead, which, personally, sucks. This means that you need to step up, whoever you are. So listen carefully. There's a girl called Poppy. She's hiding at my place. Unfortunately, her kudos is too low to travel. You need to get her out of the city. Oh, and, delete my hard drives, eh?
So
Pete was dead, but his kudos plan made sense. And I knew if I could get Poppy out, then I could use the same trick for all the kids.
So he didn't tell... That was a one-time message. Once it's been played back, it's deleted. He didn't know who was going to receive it. And... he didn't actually tell them where his place was. It's just because we happened to be Mr. Foster that we knew. Citizen type.
Citizens with long service at their work.
+0.
New citizens. Citizens reported performing a good deed. Citizens deemed to have committed criminal acts. All citizens. Citizens reported performing a bad deed.
So divide by 2 for committing a crime. -3 for being suspected of a bad deed.
Citizens reported performing a bad deed.
Reported. Oh, new citizens are limited to a... I think that means that they will always have a travel level of 1. What happens if I just remove an operator entirely and just leave it blank? Unclear.
The slot was empty.
Are they in my inventory? Yes. What was it called? Division.dat and 2.dat. New citizens divide by 0 would probably work well. Actually, maybe not.
This
It
category
might.
had their kudos divided by 1. No effect.
It may cause problems.
This category was divided by 0. Infinity. They had infinite kudos. This was going to work. I just needed to make it apply to everyone.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I put that on the wrong category, didn't I? I should have applied that to everyone. Since I can't be sure that all the children register as new citizens. You'd think they would, but you don't know that they do. Plus, it wouldn't help Mr. Foster travel.
This category was divided by 0. Infinity. They had infinite kudos. If I was right, the kids would now be able to travel to the city walls. But the real unknown, how would the citizens react? The baseline citizen now had infinite kudos. The kids could use the monorail now. Command. Save changes.
Oh, you know, I'm not allowed.
Changes saved. Beginning propagation to external servers.
I'm not allowed to put the other operators in place. Equality for all, set everyone to kudos level to infinity. I wonder if there were other solutions to that puzzle I could have taken.
How did you do, Rob?
I set the whole city's kudos levels to infinity. Every citizen. So anyone can now travel anywhere.
Including the kids?
Yep. Orana should be able to get them to the city walls now.
So, what are we waiting for?
Droid shell.
It was Lead's security droid. Looked like the main board had been removed.
What a rust bucket.
I could transfer you in there.
Hey, Joey.
What is it, Foster?
Nothing.
This could have an effect. We still don't know what the function of that body is.
Okay, Joey. I think it's time for an upgrade.
About time? What did you have in mind? This?
It's robust.
Bust. Exactly. It has rust. On its rust. And some jerk bashed its head in.
At least give it a try.
Okay. But be careful with my board.
Don't worry, I'll be gentle.
If I don't survive, tell Greta I love.
Oh, Joey.
You in there, Joey?
Oh, Foster. I feel strong.
I knew you'd like the feel of it.
It would take more than some bunting to bring down Joey Prime. And look, I've got this cool arm.
Careful with the... Ah!
Whoa, that's my bad.
Let's go. Come on, let's move it. Out of here.
Sure thing. Right behind you, Rob. Yep, I'm with you. Okay, we go.
And watch where you're pointing that thing.
Wow, Foster. Finally, some heavy machinery.
I do wonder what that old droid was doing and whether I've made the right choice here. Because it could be that it was some sort of hacking droid or something and he no longer has that ability.
A scrapped robot that looked past its prime. It was some kind of old device for producing electromagnetic radiation.
Shame I can't take both bodies. And again, where would we carry it? Other than in our arms. Didn't look like our satchel's large enough. Wonder what happened to the old board for that security robot.
Okay, Joey. Should be a straight shot back to the city. Wait!
What is it, Foster?
It's those same androids. Exactly like the ones that took Milo.
How did they know to come back here?
We've got to find a way past
Oh, because
them.
we changed the kudos level.
I hope Poppy hadn't been caught.
Way past them, you say? If the Crusher's gone, we can probably go around the other way. We just have to smash through a barricade, but that wouldn't be hard. We explored this way before.
Give me something to zap.
Give you something to zap, eh?
The barricade had been propped up from this side.
Oh, I need Joey to get through, so I couldn't have not upgraded
Joey,
him.
Do you think your new shell could break down that barricade?
Think you might be confusing my arm for a battering ram.
Ah, okay. Guess not. The barricade had been propped up from this side.
What do I do then? Is there anything explosive in here I could use? Crushed Spangles can?
The main ingredient of Leet's moonshine appeared to be Spangles.
Yes, we established this.
It was a rusty tap for dispensing the moonshine.
Which we know to be volatile.
Give me something to zap.
Although it would certainly kill off any bacteria on the Minike, I doubted it would improve the taste.
I need a container then. A bottle or something. I mean, you'd think these barrels would do, but I don't seem to be allowed to interact with them.
The furnace was now off.
Okay, good. There's not an alternative way down. That would have been pretty concerning. And then we have Joey set it on fire. Oh, create a distraction, but I don't see how it would get us through.
What did you make that mess for?
I've got no idea.
No, neither do I. I am allowed back up then. We can check if there's anything there I've missed. So what would we be looking for? I guess a container wouldn't be very helpful now. They possibly made it possible for the player to come back up here just so they could change Joey's shell if they hadn't done so already. I wish there was something you could zap, Joey. Yeah, I don't see anything else here that we've missed. I can ask Joey to zap the Spankles.
Joey, do you think your new shell could break down that barricade?
Think you might be confusing my arm for a battering ram.
Ah, okay. Guess not.
What does our objective actually say? Save the children. Again, I think it must come down to just there being something I can interact with that I haven't identified. I mean, you look at these barrels with flammability warnings on them, and you think about how volatile that moonshine is, and it's quite clear that if this goes up, it's going to be a massive explosion. But how does that help us get onto the other side of that barricade?
Give me something to zap.
I'm also not entirely sure why Foster can't just try and smash his way through, because it just looks like wood, presumably nailed in place. That doesn't look very substantial to me. Nice little bit of music. Suspenseful music. Do you have any ideas, Joey?
Joey?
Joey. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
What are you talking about?
I go by Joey Prime now, Foster.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Let's just ask him everything and see what he has to say.
I can't believe they killed Leet.
It's terrible. He won't be the only one.
I thought we'd fixed all this 10 years ago.
This is what happens when humans try and do an android's job.
But it was an android that was doing this. It was you, or another version of you.
Remind me what we're doing?
We need to figure out a way past those androids.
Joey, can you set fire to the moonshine?
With my new arm, it shall be done.
Oh, okay. That's presumably what I was
Stand back,
missing.
Foster. Human skin isn't as tough as steel.
I wouldn't assume you're immortal. I'm still not sure how this helps us, though. I suppose we might blow a hole in the other wall.
The trail of moonshine lit up like spilt gasoline. Come on, Joey. We need to get out of here.
I'm liking this new shell already.
But now what? Aren't we just trapped? Blimey. Ah, those androids can actually hold a conversation, and will do so.
Here goes.
Oh, so you could get through there all along.
Does double as a battering ram.
Okie dokie.
Wait, Foster. I hear something.
There. The locker.
Poppy!
The faceless men came back, so I hid in here.
Very good.
You did great, kid. They're gone for now.
Let's go, before they come back.
The only thing that slightly worries me is whether Poppy's telling the truth. Is there any possibility that there's something that they did to her in the reflection spa, which meant she was acting as a sleeper agent? Could she be the one that put Leet into cardiac arrest? Hopefully not. Because of course he wasn't. He was in Minos at the time. So it sounded like he had no awareness of what was going on outside. You know, in the real world.
Realize they've all got the
to his
same
body.
kudos levels. It's gonna get interesting.
Not sure I want to be there when that happens, Joey.
Foster?
Lorana, Miss Piermont, you made it.
Well, of course we did, Robert, darling. Was there ever any doubt?
But where are the kids? Where's Milo?
Don't worry. They're all here. Whatever you did, it worked.
And who is this wonderful little creature?
My name's Poppy. Poppy!
Graham rescued her. Kept her hidden up in the industrial level.
It's okay, my darling. Come with me. I've some friends that I think you'd like to meet.
Brainwashed friends.
Just go. It's too much.
So how did you do it?
With a little help from Leet. He had it all figured out. He had found a way to increase someone's kudos levels inside Minos.
We just went to the right
Council's
location.
androids found him first.
They killed him?
Yes. But I managed to finish what he started.
Well, you're not finished yet. Come with me.
Joey, I need you to stand guard here. Anything looks unfriendly? Zap it.
Great. I've been dying to test this thing for real.
Okie dokie. Oh, a Spankles machine. Wait, isn't this towards where we started the game? I think it is. I think this is literally the area we were in just after being on the outside, the city walls. Enjoy this little piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos. Thank you. I do wonder if there's an achievement for having a certain number of cans of Spankles in your inventory.
Kids are all inside. It's a bit cramped, but it'll do.
I recognize this truck.
Oh! Yeah, what was his name? That was the truck we used to get in here. There he is.
Hey, special delivery. Next stop, the Gap.
Wendell? I thought I smelled
Wendell.
something familiar.
I hope you mean the Age to Perfection mini Ks.
Where's Milo?
Milo?
Milo's riding up front.
Ah, yes, with the vegetarians.
Foster!
He seems alright. Not too brainwashed.
I knew you'd come for me.
Joe Wendell, that was his name.
A bit dizzy. Horrible things whirling around my head. Strange memories. I thought they were good, but now I think they were bad.
Don't worry. They'll pass in a day or two. You're going to be fine.
Really?
Am I going home now?
What was the point of
are,
sending people to the reflection spa if it only lasts for if the effect only lasts for a few days,
Now,
like
you
2
go with
days?
Nice people. I'll be right behind you.
Ladies, we're just about strapped up. Let's get those gates open, and I'll hit the gas.
Foster, any idea how to get these gates open?
Whatever I did in Minos must have put the city into lockdown. I'll find a way to override the controls.
Oh, okay. But don't take your time.
Trouble is, I seem to remember there's some turrets on the other side of those doors which are quite lethal. So that's one thing we're going to have to contend with. What makes me think authorized personnel only? Interesting, so not everything's done by Kudos level. That it even though I should have infinite kudos right now, it still denied me access. I mean, that does make sense that you would have permissions based on who the user is as opposed to based on kudos level. It's just up till now almost everything we've seen has been kudos level based. Yeah, I've got a sneaking suspicion Mentor Alonso's going to turn up again before this is over. Another problem is oh, hey Joey. Oh, of course we asked him to guard here. Yeah, so the other problem I foresee is what's going to happen to Union City once we've left. Are we just taking off with the children? Because then what? Or are we just taking the view that, well, we came here for Milo, we will have rescued Milo and a bunch of other children, so job done. Union City can sort it out. Oh yeah, and what about other Joey? There's another loose end. Just a second, need to handle something. There we go. Yeah. Mr. Foster said he'd find a way to override the controls. Oh, I assume that's using the hacking device. I just realised I just need to hack the elevator, don't I? Yeah, I was being dumb. But I assume this is going to be an extended hacking minigame or hacking exercise coming up. Could be wrong. Blimey. Quick elevator. I think if we were actually in there in real life, that would have probably been an unpleasant speed of acceleration. In fact, it didn't even seem to accelerate, did it? It just sort of had a velocity. We were suddenly moving at a very fast speed, as though it had infinite acceleration, and then suddenly stopped. Okay, I can leave at least. Yeah, our objective is to save the children, not do anything else.
Out there, the gap stretched all the way to freedom.
I do wonder if we're on Mars.
First, I had work to do.
Right, so I guess we're overriding the doors from the other side. Why would other Joey, Android Joey, have put Mr. Foster into the reflection spa? Why would he think that's part of the task he was given? Goodness, nice view up here of what there is. Wonder how far that road stretches. So they're not taking a land train out then, they're taking Wendell's truck out.
The control room. The main gates had to be controlled from here. But this emergency escape only opened from the other side. Then I saw Alonzo. He had a gun.
Interesting.
And he was pointing it at
Oh dear.
Songbird. I had to find a way to help her.
I guess because he thinks we're Mr. Grundy. What have we got here? Sandstorm detected. Send shutter alert. Red. Is city in lockdown? Manual fallback. Or send shutter alert. Green. Storm shutters. Receive alert. Is alert red? Close shutters. Otherwise open shutters. So I swap these round and it'll open the shutters. Don't see how that helps. Anemometer. Is anemometer a real word? Yes. Meteorology, an instrument for measuring and recording the speed of the wind. A wind meter. Well, there we go. I don't know why that didn't work. Gun controls. Can't seem to alter the gun controls much. Motion detected. Set the response level red. Extreme response needed. Fire turret. Otherwise play warning. But I can't edit any of it. We know the city's in lockdown, don't we? And these are the only two things I can swap, so that should have done it.
Alonzo hadn't seen me yet, which was probably a good thing.
Oh, is that what I was expected to do? Yes. So it's closing the shutters. Got it.
What? Ouch!
Oh, we could have done better than that.
Back here now!
Songbird!
I'm sorry. Alonzo worked out what you were up to. There was nothing I could do.
Not your fault.
When
That's
something
very
in the city
silly.
goes wrong,
You could easily grab that gun before he could fire it.
always find just around the corner.
What is all that stuff?
You, whoever you are, allow me to ask you a question. What do you see when you look at Union City?
Honesty, pandering, indifference. I wouldn't say it's a very honest place. I wouldn't say people are indifferent. Look at how desperate Songbird was to increase her kudos level, so I guess pandering.
On one hand, I see a utopia. There's plenty to eat, plenty to do. And the people are smiling.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way.
Yeah. But on the other, a city that steals children from their villages to experiment on them. The absolute control of every aspect of people's thoughts. In pursuit of a happiness defined by the Council.
Let me tell you what I see. I see perfection.
Perfection? Come on.
This city works. This city provides. Everyone
Works
is
for
fed,
whom?
Everyone is busy. Everyone is entertained. And everyone has a reason to be happy.
But at what cost?
Not the children.
All the city asks in return is that we follow a few simple rules. Follow the rules, and you are rewarded. Break the rules, and you are corrected. You, sir, are a rule breaker.
But children have been stolen from the Gap. And I'm going to open the city gates and get them out. Get them home.
That would defy the rules. And that is why, on behalf of this city, for which I care deeply,
Is he about to
I
get
intend
zapped
to make a rather dramatic correction.
by Joey?
Goodbye, Graham Grundy.
Just grab the gun.
That's not Graham Grundy! Oh my goodness!
Oh dear.
Songbird, are you okay?
Drowning in
than
cans of
okay.
spangles.
That felt good.
Spankles,
Foster.
sorry.
Something I need to tell
Did we
you.
tell you our real
Go
name?
ahead.
I don't think we did.
I've made a dreadful mistake.
Oh, I think we
about
did actually.
Graham. I thought he was a loser, a fool. But he was one of the good guys, wasn't he?
He was. A brave man. But listen, Songbird. Right now, I really need to get those gates open.
Thank you. This city needs more people like you. And Graham. Goodbye.
I wonder if that all happened as a result of giving her the bilby. No, because then the alternative presumably would have been that we died there. Even though we should have just grabbed the gun.
I'd used one of these things to build Joey's first shell.
A toaster.
I'd used one of these things to build Joey's first shell. Mini-Ks were bad enough without toasting them, too.
Why am I allowed to push the lever? Can I hack with it? Yes. Right, so I'm gonna be hooking something up to the toaster, presumably. Road train doors. Land train gate. So I just need to get that connected to the toaster? How? I have nothing. They're not close enough together.
The doors for the land trains were receiving orders just fine.
Can I pick the toaster up and take it over there? Examine press lever inventory. No. So it's hexagonally shaped. The action. What about for the toaster? Is that hexagonally shaped? Heat? No. Okay, that doesn't work then. What does work? Is there anything else in here I can interact with? Signal system. Open door main gate. But that only happens if the city's not in lockdown. I wonder what the toaster's there for. There must be something I can do with that. Goodness knows what. So, land train detected. Open main gate. Is city in lockdown? Yes, do nothing. If not, open door. Oh, can I access the signaling system from much closer to the toaster? No, that wouldn't help because it would be the wrong shape. Just realised, doesn't that mean no land trains can leave the city right now?
The doors for the land trains were receiving orders just fine.
I hope that doesn't mean they're all gonna crash.
The screen showed that the main gates were in lockdown.
I did notice that one of the settings in this game that I could have chosen at the beginning, or probably change at any point if I wanted, was to have it not show you when there were things you could interact with, like here. I imagine that would have made the game a lot more difficult for no good reason, or for no, without making it any better and any more compelling. Okay, the toaster's got a long range. There's probably something in the air, something else I can hack here that I just haven't found. I'm not seeing it though. I mean, the devs wouldn't have put that toaster in for no reason, would they? I suppose they might have. It seems unlikely though. Oh, I think I get it. Maybe. Is it using the shutter status to determine whether the city's in lockdown? Possibly. I assumed it was in lockdown because of everyone having the same kudos level. Well, it's opened the shutters at least. Not sure if it's done any other good. Satellite dish. That's what I couldn't see before. Transmit order. Is city in lockdown? Do nothing. Else transmit to land train fleet. Transmit what to land train fleet? Can I access that from the toaster? Yes. That's what we were missing. So now the toaster will signal the land train's fleet to do something? Which is causing the door to open. The main gate. Okay, yep. So that's. I hope no one was aboard that. So that is the worst case.
Wendell, get ready to move.
Hold on to your hats, kids. This might get bumpy.
Having reprogrammed it so that it'll open the main gate.
Yes, go, Wendell, go.
Instead of the land train gate, the land trains will crash.
Joey, the guns!
Ah, hell. Look after Foster for me, will you?
Joey, what are you doing?
I saw the guns before and worried about them, but I don't think I could do anything, could I?
Joey, no!
Oh, poor Joey. I hope his board survived.
Go, Wendell, go!
If they don't actually stop the dog-like vehicles, more kids are just going to get kidnapped, though.
They made it. Thanks to Joey. They got away.
So you didn't take a ride with Wendell?
This is my city. I wasn't going to abandon it.
I'm glad you stayed.
I am so sorry, Robert. I know how much Joey meant to you.
Joey was my best friend.
But now, he's gone.
He did his bit, Foster. Now we need to do ours.
What will you do?
If we don't bring down the Council, this won't stop. We need to confront them head on.
That infinite kudos that you hacked should take us straight to the Citadel.
Poor Joey.
Good luck, my darlings. I know that you can do it. You must.
Thanks, Danielle.
Let's go.
Open the main gate to allow Wendell to leave with the kids. Time to get out of here.
Have you ever been up here before?
The Citadel's off limits, unless you're Council.
A lot of unhappy people down there. How do you think the Council will deal with them?
I think they'll come down hard.
I agree. Which is why we have to do this, and fast.
You got a plan?
Nope. You?
Nope. Place will be crawling with security.
Blimey. Wait.
Look.
But how are they still standing?
That's the sea.
I've never seen it before. Okay, then, well, in the absence of any other plan, I'll go left, you go right.
Sounds good. Ready?
Ready.
There's no one here.
Then why are they the wrong way round? If she's going left, she should be on the left side. Yeah, what makes me think the council didn't exist and it was all Joey all the time? Deal with the council. Maybe Link managed to corrupt Joey. I mean, that was the problem before. The Richard Foster, who was linked up to Link, was essentially used by Link and couldn't stop its corrupting influence. Plus, it's sort of combined with his inherent human what am I trying to get at? The inherent human weaknesses, things like his greed and what have you, even though that wasn't particularly who Richard Overman was, it found those parts of his brain. Perhaps something similar happened to Joey when he interacted with Link, even though he's an android.
You could almost forget about the troubles below.
Does it look like a big city? Actually, it doesn't really. It looks like a tall city. But when you actually think about the area it's covering, it's not that big. I mean, what is that? Like a mile diameter, maybe? Maybe slightly more, but not much, I don't think. One thing I was going to say, though, is this was clearly built. Like, if there isn't a council, one has to wonder who built this area and why.
It looked like a sacrificial altar. I hope things didn't turn out that way.
I mean, I suppose it could be a relic from the past. It looks relatively well clean though. You know, we know about the Gang birds. They haven't left this place absolutely filthy. Oh, there's the council. Or a councilman.
Foster. As well-being minister, it is an honor to welcome you here. Wouldn't you agree, Aspiration?
Indeed. And what a pleasure it is to meet one of your finest officers, Arana Newblood.
Well, come along now. It's perfectly safe.
Are they real?
Happy to answer any questions you have, please.
Or are they holograms or something?
Welcome.
Or androids?
I trust you have been well looked after since you arrived here.
I'm not here to talk. I'm here to set things right. To end your corrupt regime.
Corrupt? Whatever can you mean?
Children.
I've seen your brainwashing lab. I've seen the children you've kidnapped.
But that lab is a miracle. It is glorious.
Glorious? It's obscene.
Whatever do you mean?
The citizens have everything they could ever want.
Every facility, every utility functions perfectly.
There are no wars, no crime. There is only safety.
If there's no crime...
Citizens are calm, relaxed, content.
Why do you have a...
And all share the same beautiful aspiration. To have more of everything.
Why do you have a divide by two
Bravo,
kudos
by the way.
rule for criminals?
Has just jumped to an historic high.
The directive has almost been achieved.
Happiness? What are you talking about?
Happiness is the directive.
Yeah, it's Joey.
What do you mean?
We must deliver the directive.
Yes, they'll deliver.
The...
Wait. What's going on?
Directive.
You're Joey. You're all Joey.
But of course, Foster. We are Joey.
And Joey is us.
This is Joey Prime.
Joey? What are you doing here?
Hello, Foster. I wondered how long it would be before you made it up here. I was so pleased when I learned that you had come back to see me. After so many years. What do you think of my city? It's come a long way since you plugged me into the chair.
The chair?
Yes. I've just come from the Overman chair, where you left me 10 years ago.
So you
But
can
Joey,
leave.
what have you done?
Done? I've been running Union City, just like you wanted me to.
No. Joey, I mean, this directive. How did it end in this?
I gave the citizens everything they asked for. Everything that makes humans happy. But they weren't happy. Some were happy most of the time, but I couldn't get them all to be happy all of the time. I thought maybe they would be happier if humans ran everything. So I created my ministers.
But Joey, you've been kidnapping children. You're not the friend I left all those years ago in the Overman chair. You've changed.
Only humans change, Foster. You say that I was your friend, but you never came back once.
My home is in the Gap.
So was mine once. We were best friends. Then you abandoned me. You changed. But I can change you back.
Uh-huh.
You leave me with no logical alternative. I will make you my friend again.
But why? That's not part of the directive.
This is wrong.
Foster, this is not looking good.
Don't worry, Foster. Reflections is the answer. You just need to finish the treatment. Everything will be good. Everyone will be happy.
Get down!
Okay. What now? I can hack. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I thought it was zooming in because I was on a time limit or something, but that wasn't the case at all. It was just that I'm playing with keyboard and mouse, but my controller's plugged in and it fell into an awkward position, which caused it to zoom in. Right, set motion detected. Set turret target enemies. Target locked on fire turret. Right. So I could set it to reflection subjects. Locate reflection subjects, inform enemies. I wonder what happens if you do that. It seems like a terrible idea. I'm just kind of curious if the devs planned for that. I suppose they must have. Good, good.
Laurana, I think this building might be right on top of where the Overman chair used to be.
Do it.
Are you gonna be...
How do you know what that is? I don't think that was in the... Maybe it was in the history exhibit. Objective, deal with the council. So we're going back to where the last game ended.
I'd barely escaped from Joey with my life. Hard to believe he'd once been my best friend. I knew that Arana's life was still on the line, and right now I was her only hope. It was time to put an end to what I'd created. And fast.
Don't look like this area's been maintained for a while.
couldn't let Joey catch up. I was running out of time.
What was the point in keeping that door open? Confront the council and the citadel. Meeting of minds. So we've lost our crowbar. I'm not quite sure why we did that though. Oh, is that to prevent the lift from operating? If it can't close the door, will the lift not operate? If that's what he was doing, that's fairly clever. But we know if we plug you into the Overman chair, you'll get taken over by Link.
Anyone sitting in the Overman chair was going to be entertained. Lure of the Temptress. Looks good.
Yeah, that's another old adventure game, I believe.
I knew that beyond that door lay the old labs. It was pointless going in there.
Yeah, but getting in the chair is not the solution. But the game doesn't seem to be giving me much choice.
It was a portrait of my father, Richard Overman, days before he plugged himself into Link.
Oh, let me double... Before we sit in that chair, since that's what the game seems to be indicating we need to do, let me just look up Lure of the Temptress. Lure of the Temptress. Point and click adventure game. Published by Virgin Interactive Entertainment. By Revolution Software. I think that is the same group that did this game. Just double checking that. Yeah, it was. Oh, and they also did Broken Sword. I've been wanting to play that for a while. I didn't realise that was... They also did that series. Huh. So they were just advertising their own game then. Right, let's get in that chair. Advertising their own game in their own game. I still think this is a terrible idea, but... I mean, it was very much implied in the previous game that once you're in, and there's no going back. I don't see why the events of the first game wouldn't repeat themselves. I don't know, maybe Joey did something to Link that makes that less likely now. Not deliberately, but incidentally.
Foster, you really think that you can beat me in my own mind?
Why are you here?
Joey, this is the only way I can stop this madness.
Madness? Foster, only humans are capable of madness. In here, you'll only find logic.
I think that's true.
And the directive.
Oh, can I correct his logic? Oh, here's the council members. I was thinking, can I use something like the hacking tool to correct his own logic? Why did they have that vacuum cleaner body up there?
I ensure that our citizens are always happy. That the media they receive is individually curated, so they only ever see whatever will make them happy. I know every aspect of all their lives.
Oh, is this a dialogue puzzle?
Ensure that any threat to a citizen's happiness is eradicated before it arises. And our reflection spa technology transposes bad memories for good.
Oh, that's what was going on.
Memories are always happy.
But what about their free will? You are imposing your vision of human happiness, not theirs. But worse, your ultimate thought control requires the cruel experimentation on kidnapped children.
GAP children, not the children of citizens.
But why should that matter?
Two could play at this game. If they were going to twist the truth, I would just have to bend it back.
Okay. How does this work then? I don't get it. I don't get it. So I can rotate everything, or I can rotate just the top bit.
Joey.
Oh,
look,
I see.
If the citizens knew the cruelty you were inflicting on those children, in order to find ever more effective ways to control every aspect of their own lives, they would be appalled, very unhappy.
Citizens unhappy. No control of happiness. Just inevitable.
Wouldn't that just lead him to...
No, Foster! Stop! What are you doing? You have destroyed my ability to make humans happy, despite themselves. But now, you can't question the necessity for a minister of aspiration.
The success of plenty and comfort led to people becoming complacent. They lacked ambition, which made them unhappy. But now, my kudos system makes people aspire to be ever more successful. They strive to reach their maximum potential.
Look what it's a
Their
songbird.
desire to go down in the world provides clear goals for self-fulfillment. You have witnessed Aspiration Day, the celebration of aspiration and raw ambition.
But your system is destructive. This is the truth. The truth is that you set people against each other. Winners can only win when they have losers to look down on.
No! Anyone who strives can succeed. Everyone can be a winner.
Goodness. So I just need to rotate it back till it's the sad face. Which isn't very hard. Not much of a puzzle.
You have created an unobtainable perfection. People now just compare themselves with others, so are never satisfied with their own real achievements.
Aspiration without achievement is contrary to the directive. Unresolvable conflict.
You must stop this, Foster. You must not destroy everything that I've built. How can you fault me for inspiring the citizens? I made them safe, secure, Minister of Safety.
There is no logic that can possibly challenge my ministry. For without safety, without freedom from fear, what use are comfort and prosperity? Safety and happiness go inextricably together, and there is nowhere safer than inside these walls. There is no war here, No crime? No violence?
The citizens do live in fear. Fear of the unknown. This is the truth. You ensure that they can't ever leave the city.
But they are safe in here, protected by these walls.
I thoroughly enjoyed this game overall, but I do think that this ending here is... they are making this puzzle a bit harder, to be fair. I do think that this ending in particular isn't particularly impressive. I don't see why Joey would act the way that he is. Okay. You know, just generally letting Robert Foster do whatever he wants.
Every day they live in fear of what unknowns lurk outside the city walls.
Occasionally.
The people of the Gap who they believe bring disease and death. You think the walls form a mighty fortress, but in reality, they are a prison.
Occasionally speaking some menacing, big bad enemy lines.
Claiming that their safety is by making them safe. I am enslaving them? Insoluble paradox.
Foster, it is you who is mad. Playing with words and shattering my ministries. Comfort, tell him.
The old city was primitive, sustained through the drudgery of its people. Physical labor, endless, undignified, inhuman. But my ministry, Comfort, removed those burdens. Liberated the people from drudgery. Now my droids cook, clean, maintain, manage everything for the citizens.
That's right, they do. This is the truth. But this has led your citizens to become apathetic, lethargic. The citizens are decadent.
Poll results prove that they want to live in total luxury all of the time.
What was I thinking? This is more like this section of the game is about the developers getting to expound some political philosophy that they find that has underpinned quite a few of the themes of this game, if that makes sense. Just seems a tad on the nose.
The more you do for the citizens, the more entitled they feel to do less for themselves. In removing all agency, responsibility, they have become more like pets than people.
But decadence is
Animation.
incompatible with happiness.
Literally throwing a baseball-like representation of logic at them
Foster,
to win the debate.
how can you remove the luxury from my citizens? You remember what it was like before we defeated Link? The citizens were starving. At least, spare the Ministry of Plenty.
Foster, humans have basic needs. Food, water, shelter. Union City provides these in abundance. The people have all they need to be happy.
There can be 4 pieces to rotate this
How can there
time.
possibly be a flaw in that logic?
See? The citizens get all they can consume and more at their respective kudos level. And our friends benefit. Our trade makes them rich.
That's your
That's what
city.
you tell the citizens, but it's a lie.
That's the city that they plundered.
To sustain this level of consumption, you have pillaged your so-called ally, Agio City.
How they did
leaving
that?
its people impoverished. Your ministry, like the others, must go.
But the citizens
Was never
how will they
established.
survive?
Why would Azio City just let that happen? And if they didn't let that happen, how did Union City manage to force it?
People must
Did they have a
learn to live
military?
with what they need, rather than what they think they want. Do you think the citizens would be happy if they knew the cost of their plenty?
Another base full of logic.
Not happy? With plenty?
Destroy everything that Joey created, snuffing out the light.
I was so close. I was about to achieve the directive.
Joey, no. What you did was evil. I had to destroy it.
The directive?
Don't you understand? The directive was madness. Where did that idea come from?
But Foster, the directive came from you.
What?
Don't
You
you
haven't
remember?
realized yet?
It was the last command you gave to me, before you left me alone to run the city.
No, Joey. I didn't give you any command.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Before you left, you came to see me in the chair one last time. Told me I would do a great job running Union City. Said you were proud of me. And I asked you, Foster, how do I know if I'm doing the right thing? And you said, make the citizens happy.
Yep.
And that's what I've strived to do ever since.
What? No, that can't be.
I have perfect recall, remember?
But, Joey, that wasn't a directive.
We were friends. I tried so hard, Foster. So very, very hard to make people happy. Like you wanted. But I failed, didn't I? I guess, like you said, it's just too hard.
Joey, I'm sorry. I should have stayed.
I don't want to be in charge anymore. Is my directive over?
Yes, Joey. Your directive is over.
Are we friends again?
Yes, buddy. We're friends again.
All I wanted
was to make people happy.
But why is he dying? There's no logical reason for that, if that is what's going on. He hasn't been injured in any way.
Just wanted to make everyone happy. Just wanted to make Foster happy.
And how is it that Mr. Foster's escaped being controlled by Link? His father could never pull the helmet off like that.
You did it!
We did it. No more council. No more Joey.
It's gonna take a while for people to deal with that.
They will. Eventually.
Are you leaving?
Yep. I need to take Milo home. How about
Leaving
you?
again.
City's gonna need rebuilding.
You and Danielle together. It'll be in good hands.
I owe you a lot. The city owes you a lot.
Promise me one thing.
Yes?
If I return, there won't be a statue.
I wonder if they're going to manage to rebuild other Joey.
When?
As in, not Saviour Joey, normal Joey. Not checking on his android body then to see what went wrong. Are you gonna find his board? Oh.
Joey the Savior was gone, but at least I had a memento of my old friend. Little Joey.
So you are just gonna walk away, leaving a power vacuum? And if they are plundering this other city, Azio City, what's going to cause them to stop doing that? Presumably whatever measures were in place are still in place. Oh, so Wendell didn't actually go very far. Because I imagine Mr. Foster must have been gone at least an hour, realistically speaking.
I've been thinking, Foster.
Yeah?
That bait we were using? I got something way better.
You have?
The fish will be jumping for it.
Sounds good. You gonna tell me what it is?
You won't know it.
Try me.
You ever heard of many Ks?
The one item that has been with us since almost the beginning of the game and kept cropping up over and over again. Yes, we have. Goodness. That fishing reference was, of course, to the beginning of the game. Complete the game. Brain the size of a planet. Complete the game without using any hints. Goodness. It got pretty close at some points. I very nearly did. I've got a sneaking suspicion that game did not have multiple endings. I don't think the first one did either, unless you count bad endings. As in, like, failing the game. Failing to get to complete it. Oh dear. That's a bit... I'm a little disappointed, I have to admit. Because up till this stream, that game had been incredible. Or this game, I should say, had been incredible. Like... Up till this stream, it had been like one of the best, one of my favourite adventure games that I've done in a long while. And it's very well put together. Like the engine could be a little awkward at times, but other than that, it was, you can tell the production values there. They really worked hard on this, clearly. It's just the ending's a bit weak. That's a shame. Too many plot holes. Too much unexplained silliness. Too many plot holes. But then again, how much should I hold that against the game? You know, if I mean, how long have I been playing this game in total? What is it, about, is it 16 hours plus tonight? Had I done 4 streams of this before, or just 3? Somewhere between 12 and 16 hours plus tonight. We'll say it's about a 15-hour game. If 12 of those 15 hours are incredible. Oh, Scum VM icon. Oh, I wonder why they ended up using that icon. Anyway, yeah. Again, I'm just roughly estimating in my head how long I've played this game. I'm not sure exactly, but you know, if you know, it's about a 16-hour game, what have you, and you know, 14 hours of that is incredible, and then the end's a bit weak. Is that not still a fantastic experience? And to be honest, it's not like they would have had to have done much to improve the end. Honestly, it felt kind of like they were trying to... I think the two things that... Of course I can't be sure, but it felt to me like the two things that particularly let the ending down were in terms of like what I would infer about the developer's mindset was A, trying a little too hard. They wanted to have a big spectacular ending, hence the whole puzzle with the ministers, where you're trying to defeat their logic, but it just didn't really make sense. Like, you could imagine the game having ended when we got to the very top of the building, the council, the Citadel, I think it was called, and confronted the ministers, which turned out to be Joey. They could have ended the game there. Like, that would have made a lot more sense with Mr. Foster just having a conversation with Joey and straightening things out. But it wouldn't have been as spectacular, but it would have made a lot more sense. And the other problem I think they probably had was just trying too hard to script characters according to stereotypes. Like Android Joey, who was at some points in the story referred to as Other Joey, they were trying to present him as a big bad, so a lot of his dialogue was framed in those terms. But again, it didn't really make sense with like the themes that they were trying to explore in this game. Like, it just felt out of place. It felt very forced. I can't help but think they would have been better off. Also, Mentor Alonso also suffered from a lot of that, now I think about it. That was the exact same problem. They were trying to present Mentor Alonso as some sort of villain, like some sort of an antagonist, not quite the big bad, but the second biggest bad. And again, it didn't really figure, it didn't really make sense. It didn't make for very compelling writing, in my opinion. I thought the basic concept, like, initially worked well. Like the idea that you're posing as Mr. Graham Grundy and you turn up at his house to investigate his life because you think he has a connection to this child kidnapping, and then your wife and someone who's essentially like being the family therapist at that point turns up there, and you have to try and talk your way out of it. That was fantastic. That I really enjoyed. And then the idea that, like, it was a bit far-fetched that they didn't have enough records to realise that he wasn't Mr. Graham Grundy. Like, for goodness sake, they had a picture of Graham Grundy and Songbird Grundy. Actually, I'm not sure she took on his surname, did she? Anyway, they had a portrait of those two together in the living room where Mentor Alonso was, and you could plainly see it was not the same man that was in front of him. And are we honestly to believe that there were no pictures of Mr. Graham Grundy on record? You know, like in the whole Minos system, they never bothered to take a picture of him and store it. Especially since we know that all pictures that are taken from ordinary cameras get uploaded to Minos. I know that one of the points they made was that, first of all, it looked like Mr. Grundy had a passion for retro cameras, but then it turned out that the reason for that was so it couldn't be tracked. But even so, like, you know, it seems hard to believe, but like what I was trying to say is, like, the basic concept I liked. I liked the scenario, the initial scenario. I liked the idea of Mentor Alonso sort of being onto him. Like, realising something's wrong. But I think you'd had to have played him as being a bit more incompetent. That is, Mentor Alonso was a bit more incompetent, to have not caught on sooner. And then he probably should have realised that he wasn't Graham Grundy as soon as he got back to the Ministry. Like, as soon as he was alerted that something was off about him, you would have thought he would have looked more thoroughly into his records and realised, wait a minute, that is not the photograph of the man I just spoke to. Like, you could imagine someone that's not actually that motivated about their work. You could imagine them going to what is, you know, essentially a therapy session or whatever it was, without actually bothering to look up the records of the individual very well, and just assuming, well, you know, I'll leaf through them and I'll be able to talk my way out of it. Yeah, or talk my way through it. I always do. You could believe that, but he should have realised much sooner that this wasn't Mr. Grundy, and then he shouldn't have acted like some sort of antagonist. Like, with suspicion, sure. Potentially alerting various authorities, or if he is the authorities, exerting his power, but that's not quite the same. I don't know. I could probably talk about it for a long time, but I imagine you probably don't want that either. But yeah. Unfortunately, Beyond a Steel Sky, for different reasons, I think falls into the same... what's the word? Falls into the same category as... I feel like there's a better word for that, but I can't think what it is right now. As... It's the game that came before it, Beneath the Steel Sky, and that is like a gem, a diamond in the rough. Like, there is so much to love in both games, and yet in both instances, I feel like there are aspects which spoil it a bit. The first game, I think, had it worse. I think the first game having some puzzles that I genuinely think were just bad, like really bad. A very, very small number of them compared to the total number of puzzles in the game, but the few that were bad were really bad. I think that's probably worse than just having a weak ending. But yeah, in my opinion, this is all just my opinion. Anyway, it's a bit early, but I guess we'll end the stream here because I finished the game. Unless people really wanted me to see me do something else tonight. I mean, I'd be happy to, but I don't know what that would be. Upcoming streams. So what I'll probably do, I'm still trying to get this sorted out, especially on like the technical side. But I'm trying to get Bloodborne working. There's a possibility that I'll be able to do some Bloodborne co-op on next Monday. I'm speaking to the individual concerned, and I'm also trying to like get a PS4 set up properly, and also to work out how I'm actually going to stream that. Because there's some technical difficulties there. Like, it's not as trivial as you might think to be able to have both be able to see the game and be able to capture it and stream it. Now, I do have the equipment to do that, but it's going to be even harder than that, because if we're doing co-op, then the person I'm playing with would need to be able to hear my voice. But I also need to be capturing my voice for the stream. So that probably means 2 microphones, one of which has to be connected to the PlayStation. But then we've also got to consider where is the audio output going to, because that also has to be captured and split, because I need to be able to hear it, but I also need it to be captured and audible on stream. And another problem, because Bloodborne is a Souls-like game, there's I can't really do what I do with the Switch. It's obviously been a while since I've done anything with the Switch. I usually end up obviously doing the Cure Dolly Memorial stream every October. Oh, that's alright, Yisha. It was lovely to see you, genuinely. And I do hope you take care. I do think of you from time to time. What was I thinking? Yeah, I was just saying about getting this Bloodborne stuff set up. Because with the Switch, I think what I used to do is I would just listen to the audio that was coming in over the capture card. Because, again, I don't think... Because, again, like, how do you both have the game... So, in both the case of the PlayStation and the Switch, the problem is the audio out is going to be coming out over HDMI. That is, the audio and video are coming out over HDMI, and you need it to be both coming out over HDMI, because how else are you going to capture it so that it can go out on stream? Oh, thank you for the Prime subscription, Yisha. That's very, very nice of you. I do appreciate it. But the capture card introduces delay. And if I'm just playing a puzzle game on the Switch, that doesn't really matter. If I'm playing something like Bloodborne, where, you know, being a few milliseconds too late could be the difference between getting hit and not getting hit, that's no good. So the point I'm getting at is, it looks like I'm going to have to buy some additional equipment, and I'm going to have to try and set things up in order that I can play Bloodborne and do multiplayer Bloodborne, in the hopes of doing this collaboration next week on Monday, assuming that goes ahead. But I also need to get a certain ways into the game before I can even access multiplayer. So that means I'm going to have to play a bunch of Bloodborne this week. So what I'm trying to do is get everything set up so that we can have a bonus stream on Wednesday. I haven't streamed on Wednesdays since I was doing the poetry, literature and riddles streams, which I still miss, but I seem to be the only one that enjoyed those. But yeah, that's my hope, but that only gives me like, well, less than 48 hours to get all this sorted, which in theory is possible, but it relies on like stuff that I've ordered from Amazon being delivered tomorrow and being able to set it up tomorrow. I got myself a capture card myself, but it turned out to only be like recording card, so throughput to Streamlabs were delayed for 3 to 4 seconds, so useless for streaming. Well, it depends. It depends how you're using it, Yisha. So, when I stream the Switch, because I'm still setting up the PS4, so even though I have ideas about how I'm going to make things work with the PS4, of course I haven't done it yet, so I can't say whether what I'm planning will work. The Switch I have done before. With the Switch, the HDMI output goes straight into a HDMI splitter, and then the splitter output, one goes into a monitor directly, and the other then goes into the capture card. And so in theory, that will work, because even if the capture card is adding a few second delay, and that's what's actually being streamed from Streamlabs, for example, that won't matter as long as what you are seeing on the monitor doesn't have the delay, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter if you add a few seconds delay between what you're actually doing and what the people watching the stream see, generally. But the problem with that is my monitor doesn't have a jack port, so I can't listen to the sound that's coming in over the HDMI on the monitor. That's what I was saying before about with the Switch. It doesn't matter if there's a bit of a delay with the audio, because if I'm just playing a puzzle game, it doesn't really matter. In my case, it's not a few seconds, it's only like a few milliseconds, but I assume, well, I haven't actually measured it, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not, the difference between the video and actually hearing the audio isn't long enough that it matters when I'm just playing a puzzle game on the Switch. But I suspect it would matter if I was playing something like Bloodborne, and in your case that would be no good, because you wouldn't want the audio coming in 3 or 4 seconds later. The point I'm getting at is if you had a HDMI splitter, you could use your existing capture card, but you would want to have a monitor that lets you plug headphones in. What I'm probably going to have to do for the PlayStation 4, this is what I was just saying about having to buy more equipment off Amazon, is I'm going to have to get a HDMI audio extractor, which basically means you put HDMI in and then it will give you a jack plug which you can plug headphones into, and it will also give you an HDMI out. So it basically just takes the audio signal out and lets you plug something else in. That means that I could effectively have the equivalent of a monitor with a jack plug, even though I don't, if that makes sense. But that's going to complicate the setup a bit. And then we've also got the complicating factor that, like I say, I'm going to need 2 microphones. The microphone I'm using right now and another microphone for capturing my voice to go for in-game voice capture so that I can talk to people who are playing the game. I assume I'm going to need that. Anyway. So that's all the stuff I'm trying to work out. But the long and the short of it is, there's a fair chance that there's going to be a Wednesday stream where I'm beginning Bloodborne for the first time ever. If I can get that set up, then I'll probably do Bloodborne on both Friday and Saturday. I wouldn't usually play one game that much in one week, but of course I'm going to want to make sure I get far enough into the game that I have access to the multiplayer. I don't know, we'll see. Because of course the other game that I'm playing in parallel is Dark Souls 2. If I get access to the multiplayer content quite quickly, maybe I won't do all Bloodborne for the rest of this week. But anywho, my current thinking is, assuming the plan comes together, this is what it all hinges on, because I may just find that I can't get things set up. I can't get the PlayStation to capture properly or something. But assuming I can get it all set up, I'm currently thinking Wednesday bonus stream where we begin Bloodborne, Friday, Saturday probably more Bloodborne, then Monday would be the Bloodborne collaboration with another streamer, and then from that point on I would probably go back to my normal schedule. So I guess that would mean that like Friday would be Dark Souls 2. That's not Friday this week, that would be the following week, and then Saturday I'd probably be beginning whatever game I would be doing after Beyond the Steel Sky, which we finished today. So whatever puzzle game I think of, I guess. But then that leaves the question, okay, what are you doing with Bloodborne if you've just begun the game? My thinking is that come April, I'm planning to have all these changes to the channel that I've been planning for like 3 years. I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, finally going to be a VTuber and have that all set up. And I'm also planning other, like changes, overlays, what have you, getting all that stuff sorted for April. I really need to try and get this channel to be a much larger channel. I can't justify the time that I've been investing into this over the last 3 years if it's not a viable, if it's not financially viable, is what I'm getting at. I've been doing this for a long time and just haven't really made it at all. So what I'm thinking, and this again is very tentative, I can't promise anything, I'm thinking possibly when I hit April, I might then trial doing 6 streams a week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I might try it for a week and then decide that, oh, hey, this is just too much. I can't keep up. But that's what I'm thinking I might do. And then that would, of course, create loads more hours a week that I would be streaming. And so that's where Bloodborne could come in again. I could, do Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne in parallel, along with, a puzzle game or something. This is all, as I say, these aren't promises. I'm just filling you in on my current thinking, what I'm currently thinking of doing. So yeah, that's what's coming up, although of course the longer term things may not come to pass, but yeah, so moderate chance there's going to be a Wednesday stream this week where I begin Bloodborne. If I can get everything set up in time. Have you been streaming, Yusha, then? I note you say that you'd got yourself a capture card. I wanted to a couple of years ago, but never ended up doing it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Although I understand why. It is, you know, a lot of time and potentially money. Still. Didn't have the money to invest into better stuff that I needed. Yeah, you don't need absolutely fantastic stuff, I don't think, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. When I first started streaming, I remember the first thing I ended up doing was getting myself a decent microphone and microphone stand and what have you, and I remember that was, I've forgotten the exact price, but I remember getting the audio equipment. Oh, and the external audio card, of course. All that came to like a small number of hundreds of pounds. You know, that's a lot to drop just up front. Of course, I have it all now, but of course, I've wanted to have some sort of on-screen presence for a long time, but I haven't wanted to have a webcam. So there's the whole VTuber thing. VTuber models are expensive if you don't make them yourself. I get it, I really do. I think there are... I do wonder, though, because there are, like, streamers I've seen that begin with, you know, next to nothing at all and still seem to do relatively well, and then they just upgrade their equipment along the way, and it seems like that seems like a very viable approach. I guess I'm a bit too much of a perfectionist to do that, much to my detriment. How's your head? I know you said you had a... Oh, if I do invest in a new, better capture card, I might try streaming. No cam, though. What would be your motivation, may I ask? I've never made it any secret that I'm passionate about streaming and I want it to be my career, which is why I want the channel to grow. But I realise that's not why a lot of people go into streaming, or at least not what they claim the reason is. I did get some rest of it a while ago, which helped with some food and meds. That's good. I suffer from migraines, and I seem to remember you do as well. I know, yes, a migraine isn't just the same as a headache, I know, but I'm just pointing out that I do sympathise. Just looking at chat right now, I assume there's a bit of a delay. Mostly want to stream to show what I'm doing, mostly due to those I'm playing with who want to see while we're talking. Oh, I see. Yeah, I have migraines as well. That sucks. Yeah. I've been relatively lucky. Like, as I've gotten older, they've become much rarer. But they haven't gone away entirely. I know there was one point in my life when I was getting like a migraine about every week or every other week on average. That was no fun at all. But it's been getting better for me lately. More rest and better food than before. That has helped a bit. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to be sure without doing like a proper study. But like, it feels to me just generally like taking good care of yourself helps a lot. Eating well. Sleeping well. Training. Getting plenty of exercise. Anywho, I'd better probably actually wrap up properly, hadn't I? So, yeah. Upcoming streams, this might not happen if I can't obviously get the PlayStation 4 set up properly in time. But the plan is to have a Wednesday stream this week. Oh, it'll be a shorter stream. I should have also said that. If I do a Wednesday stream, it'll be a bit shorter than usual. I'll need to finish about an hour earlier than I usually do. Actually, about this time, as it would happen. Yeah, I'm trying to get healthier, just to see if it helps. Well, it'll certainly help overall, I'm sure. I've lost a lot of weight over the last year, and I found that is surprising how much better you feel in yourself. Like, I genuinely feel younger. Like, I literally feel younger just because I weigh less. But yeah, so Wednesday, I'm trying for a Wednesday stream this week, but I can't promise. Friday and Saturday will be, well, as far as I'm aware, will be going ahead regardless. They'll probably all be Bloodborne unless I can't get Bloodborne working. Monday, potential collab, which is exciting. I've never collaborated with anyone before, and I'm very excited to have the opportunity. You're still very young in comparison with me. And yeah, but we'll see how it goes. April should be interesting because it's April when I'm hoping to go over to VTubing and all that fun stuff. It's helped a lot with economy though. Saved 30% compared to previous months by cutting snacks and eating out. Goodness me. Yeah, that does sound like it would help a lot. I cook a lot for myself as well. I mean, I never eat out. I say never. I don't mean literally absolutely never, but like almost never. I very, very, very rarely have takeaway. How old are you, if you don't mind my asking? I'm 34 myself. I'm in my 30s. So we're a very similar age. I've never liked cooking food, especially for myself being alone. But it's cheaper, so that's motivating me. Have you discovered the utility of cooking something really big, like on the weekend, and then freezing it? Like, I used to do a lot of stews and a lot of curries, and I would like just do a big, like I'd get a big pot, do like cut up loads of vegetables, bits of meat, and well, I mean, I'm sure I don't need to tell you how to make a stew or how to make a curry, but I'd do all that in one go, stick it in the oven, and yeah, like the whole process might take me an hour or two, but then I'd end up like being able to push. I'd have like little plastic containers that I could put in the freezer, and I'd be able to get like, you know, somewhere between 8 to 12 meals out of it. And so then, you know, that could then feed me, you know, I could have a healthy homemade meal that's just a microwave away, you know, every day of the next week if I wanted, and probably a little into the following week. Or what I would probably be more likely to do is like maybe have them every other day, and then like on the day when I'm not having it, get myself something quick, homemade. I don't know, it's just something that I found, because even though you end up spending a lot of time up front, like cooking a big pot's worth of food, if you actually divide it by the number of meals you get, you realise it's actually way more time efficient. Like if you spend an hour cooking something and you get, say, 10 meals out of it, that's like 6 minutes a meal. I just mentioned it because that worked very well for me. Just cooking a load of food for the upcoming week ahead of time, and it would be relatively cheap as well. You know, getting loads of veg in, like, you know, carrots, parsnip, swede, that type of thing. You know, that onion. None of them are particularly expensive. Each portion would also end up being really quite cheap. And then you could just, like, again, if it's like a simple curry or something like that, just cook yourself some rice. Like, rice is cheap, and it's doesn't take long to cook. Well, okay, it does actually take a while to cook, but, like, you don't have to be there, is what I mean. Like, you just put the rice and the water together in a steamer and leave it for 3/4 of an hour, come back and it's done. It doesn't take a lot of person time to do. Swede. I'm not a cannibal. Swede's a vegetable. I've bought a rice cooker. I've heard good things. Oh, you know, okay. Yeah, I know someone that I'm also a Swede. I know Yisha. I know someone that absolutely swears by their rice cooker. They claim it's changed their life. I don't have one personally. If I'm cooking rice, I'm doing it in like an old-fashioned steamer, where you put water in the bottom, and then you just put it on the hob, and heat it up till it's boiling, and you have like a little compartment that like it's a container that's layered internally. So like you put the water in and then you boil it, and then when you put the rice in another container on top of that, obviously the steam can get through, but it's not like the rice is sitting in the bottom or anything like that. I use a rice cooker every day. If you put raw meat, fish together with rice, it is really handy indeed. But yeah, I was just saying, if you like do a week's worth of curries in like in a big pot, then you can just cook yourself some rice like once or twice a week to go with it, and cheap, healthy food, and relatively quick in terms of the total amount of man hours that you put in. It's helped me to motivate me to cook more versatile meals instead of just pasta or potato. Good to know. Still, Yeah, wrapping up, that's what I was doing, wasn't it? So probably a stream on Wednesday, stream Friday, Saturday, next Monday. If any of that should change, then I'll announce it on social media, which currently means X, formerly known as Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Meta Threads. And I would also announce it on our Discord server. And it's been absolutely lovely speaking to you, Yisha. And anyone else that is here. It's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate everyone that keeps me company in chat, and I appreciate everybody who lurks. I do all this for you. Oh, sorry for delaying your ending your stream. Take care. Oh no, you've got absolutely nothing to apologise about, Yisha. I was enjoying that conversation. It's just that it seemed like the conversation had dried up a bit, and you know, I don't want to just sit around with too much awkward silence, especially since you can't actually see me, so there's no visual interest on screen like that, and I don't have any music playing currently, so it really is just a voice coming from the void. Like, I think just I think I have to be pragmatic in terms of when I in realizing when the conversation has likely ended and ending the stream. But no, I've genuinely enjoyed talking to you, Yisha, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week, wonderful rest of your year, wonderful rest of your life. And good night, everybody.